And we're live. Hello and welcome to the 216th episode of HEX Therapy Live. I'm your host, Maddie Allen, and I've got a great show for you tonight. Did you think we were going to make it 216 weeks? I know I didn't whenever I started YouTubing on this streak, but now I just can't give it up, because what? I'm just going to miss a week and then have to start all over from week one of a streak. Once you're 216 weeks into doing something you don't have a choice anymore. So here we are. And, but lucky for you, we've got some good stuff to go over today. So, hit the like and subscribe button, share this out. You're in the right place. Welcome to HEX Therapy Live.
It's from Maddie Allen of HEX Therapy Live. I like Maddie. Maddie tries to make the world a healthier place. He's a mental health professional. He's done research.
Big videos on sudden wealth syndrome.
There's nothing that a human being can do better than try and heal his fellow man.
Maddie Allen's got that covered. He does emotional, feel-good, mind management, emotion stuff as his gig, because he's a therapist. That's what he does for a living. He helps heal people.
So do you want to know the #1 hack for improving your mental health on Twitter? Well, I can't give you mental health advice, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. There's a little known setting. Now, of course, you can mute people, which is where you won't see their posts, but they won't hate on you for blocking them. But did you know you can mute words? Well, that's right, folks. And you're welcome to do this along with me right now, because as I said, not mental health advice, but pretty cool hack. So go to go to the 3-dot menu on your Twitter. You can do this in mobile and desktop form. It's interesting. Twitter is getting better at being the same between mobile and desktop. However, the one thing that you can't do, this is a little bit of a tangent, but for you Twitter nerds out there, the one thing that you can't do on desktop that you can do on mobile is you can, in somebody's replies, you can filter by which one has the most likes, as opposed to just what's most relevant to you, which is biasing it with people that you know, or I forget what the third filter is, but so you can see, if you're reading something that has 5,000 comments, you can see what the most popular reply was under the tweet, not biased on your own algorithm. So that's pretty cool. But oddly, they don't have that on desktop, only on mobile. Anyway, okay, so now you're ready to go and mute a word. So you go to the 3 dots and then you go to settings and privacy. And then you can actually just search the settings. So just search for the word mute, and it'll bring up the submenu on mute and block. And then you can see you have blocked accounts. You have muted accounts. You have muted words and muted notifications. Now, we're going to take a look at the muted words in this case. Let me just make sure everybody can hear me all right. Looks like it. Muted words. Oh, and I've not done this on desktop before, only on mobile, but here it's giving me a description. Why don't I share my screen? It's telling me when you mute words, you won't get any new notifications for posts that include them or see the posts with those words in your home timeline. Very, very cool. That's just what we need. Ooh, okay. Wait a second. Okay, this looks a little bit different than mobile, but it still has the same options. So you can mute specific words, and then if a post has that word in it, you won't see that post. So, for example, I was really interested in hearing about all these California fires until it got to be like day after day after day, and there wasn't any new information about it, and people were just, like it was just filling up my feed, and everybody's going to be different in like what you want to hear about, and that's okay. It's literally okay for you to decide that you don't want to see anything else. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You want to know why? Well, maybe it's like the content and the news that you're consuming. So luckily I identified for myself, like, hey, I'm tired of hearing about all these California fires. So I muted the word fire forever until I unmute it. And I also muted the word burning. However, I only muted that one for 7 days. Now I'm going to tell you why. So burning actually has two different meanings. Burning could mean like people are burning and, it's like a problem of the woke agenda, blah, blah, blah. Super opinionated stuff on Twitter, which may or may not, that could be true. But it could also be like burning cryptocurrency or like burning your keys in order to, make it inaccessible to people anymore. And it could be a crypto term or it could be a human tragedy. Hopefully not both at the same time, but that's for another discussion. So on Twitter, it'll let you mute words for like a week at a time, so on and so forth. So that's why I chose with that one. All right, I don't want to stop hearing about burning forever in case people are burning their cryptocurrency, but I at least need a week off from hearing about burning of people. Then I also muted the word California. Sorry, California. Peace out. And I can unmute these at any point. Other words that I've muted include kill and killing, murder, murdered, shot, and death. And when I did those quite a while back, like this is not a recent thing, but hey, that really helps. If there's some really important story, maybe it was the presidential candidate, maybe there's an attempt to assassinate him. I'll still see that because there will be words. There's other ways to describe it, right? But I just am I'm decreasing my consumption of, I'm dieting from these negative words. And, you don't want to live under, you don't want to live with your head buried in the sand or anything like that. But also, it's okay for you to be in control of what you're consuming and for you to, have enough of a balance in the news and the information that you're consuming so you can at least see the glass is half full instead of the glass is burning because there's no water, because politics took the water away, which that's a different discussion that is not so related. But the point here is you can choose to take a break from certain words. For some people that might be super, super, super helpful to have a better mood or to be able to, you could use this kind of a strategy. Technically you could try it out. In the bottom of the bear market, you could mute all the bearish terms, and then maybe you'll be more bullish, and that's what you want, because maybe you want to buy when everybody's being negative or something. Personally, that I don't know if I would do that myself. I'm just trying to think of like some extreme examples that like go beyond how I'm using this, and for you to recognize, like, this is a pretty powerful thing, and so one size isn't going to fit all. There are a lot of Bitcoiners that, maybe they muted the word hex a few years ago. Well, if hex ever ends up flipping Bitcoin, they're going to be sorry that they did that. Somebody's asking in the chat, question. They bought ETH on Coinbase in order to send to their self-custody wallet to buy HEX, but now the funds are on hold for 2 weeks. Where can I buy ETH instantly? So there are some places where you can buy a certain amount of ETH instantly, but there's going to be pros and cons to that. Honestly, what you're running into is like a problem with the banking system, not a problem with the crypto system. And so, unfortunately, you're realizing, as many of us do, that like you don't actually control, the quote unquote money that you have in your own bank. But yeah, so it kind of depends on like the amount that you're trying to put in and that kind of stuff. But another option is Gemini, in terms of like what is an exchange other than Coinbase that may not put such a hold. Another thing to keep in mind is like sometimes if you wire money to Gemini or to Coinbase, if you haven't had a hold up yet, that's more of like a final transaction. And so sometimes they won't hold it in that case. Sometimes they still will. And the excuse that they do, so like, just because you use Gemini doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to get through. But the reason that they say they're doing this is because if somebody had your banking information, they, like if your bank account got hacked, which that's like a common thing, then the hackers, they could like send the money to Coinbase and then send it from Coinbase to their own custody wallet. And then you don't ever get your money back because there's no way to like undo that in the banking system. Whereas like if a bank hacker, like if they got into your account and sent money to a different bank, the bank could just go in and like stop that from happening when you realized. And that's why like the 2 week thing, that's why they say that they're doing it. When you have more of an account history in crypto, after you've been in crypto for multiple years, using Coinbase regularly, you might not have those kinds of holds put on your account. However, I haven't had that in a long time, and my onboards have had that, from time to time, where they got their money stuck for, a week or two. But even after I've been in crypto for 7 years, using Coinbase that whole time, it'll still happen where I have a huge transaction and it gets stuck. And it's infuriating. Yeah. So, and then, let's see. So, Coast is one way. There's like a little bit more setup for that, but 0x Coast is a really good bank, that is Pulse Chain native, or that they're on an off ramp. So that's the number 0 and the letter X Coast.com. I'm trying to think of like, so like a Bitcoin ATM is going to charge you like a 5 or 10% fee, but most of those you can buy up to $600 of ETH. There's one where you're supposed to be able to buy like $1,000 or $2,000. Huh. Just trying to remember what it's called. Actually, I have it written down over here. I'm going to go grab it so that I'll be able to answer this question better in the future. Yeah, here, let me play a song real quick.
What's good, Maddie? I had a steak in today. Think I'm gonna throw a party for the Hexicans. You know, it's gonna be live. I want you to come over, call everybody, call ATX and them. Tell them to stop through, man. It's gonna be live today. We're gonna turn up for you, Maddie. And we're live.
Hey, yo, Trace, you ready?
And we're live.
We're live like Maddie Allen. We're live like Maddie Allen.
Okay, so I sell these like physical pulse chain coins, and they come with an onboarding booklet, you know, like a physical written booklet that explains how to onboard into pulse chain. And you can read all this information for free at solidustkey.com. Oh, here I'm recommending Coinbase or Kraken. I mean, Gemini is the third one that is cool. Okay, changenow.io will do up to like $1,400. And sometimes they'll accept it from a credit card, which like can sometimes carry a cash advance fee, which is not cool. But I think Change Now will also work from like a debit card or something, maybe. But the website is changenow.io, and I've used them several times. So like if somebody was just asking me like, hey, how do I get 1,200 or 1,300 bucks into Pulse Chain or into Hex, I mean, as quickly as possible, I would tell them to buy ETH with changenow.io. And if they were trying to do a larger amount, like 5 or 10K, then I would say like, you know, go ahead and do the Coinbase route or do the Gemini or Kraken. But yeah, changenow.io is pretty sweet. Yeah, lots of people have this same issue. So I'm glad House of Belmar like asked about it. Really great question at this point. Cool. Let's see. So in other news, yeah, I mean, like we had a super successful Hex conference, and I kind of recapped a little bit about that on the show on Tuesday night. We had Kareem come back to Game Theory Gang, so that was super exciting. We had more people tune in because he always brings lots of energy and drops a lot of alpha. Yeah, I don't know. I guess something's telling me that like, you know, I'm not going to quit YouTubing anytime soon. You know, sorry to the haters, because I just, I ordered, you know, I finally am upgrading my equipment a little bit. I have some better lights coming in, because ever since I moved, for some reason, I don't know why, but like my lighting has been off, even though I'm using like the same exact equipment and even more. So like, that's pretty exciting. And then also, you guys probably won't care about this one bit, but I'm going to tell you, I ordered a Joe Rogan mic arm, which I don't know. I don't know why it feels like I've arrived now that like I've ordered such a stupidly expensive mic arm. But yeah, like I don't know, there's something to it, you know, like if you're gonna dedicate like years of your life to something, like you might as well have equipment that works. That works a little bit better. This I don't know, this like cheap mic arm that I've been using and like I've traveled with for a couple of years, like, you know, it's definitely seen better days. So yeah, the Joe Rogan mic and the new lighting should be coming in sometime soon, so that's exciting. Yeah, because like, you know, got some like fuzzy grass over here. That's not cool. I had painted the wall green in my last house. You know, so that also helps with the presentation of the YouTube studio. But you know, you guys don't see like all the crazy wires and like all the wild, you know, wild jazz that goes into this type of production. But yeah, so that'll be cool. Okay, so we talked about like muting words. That's nice. And let me see. Got some other juicy news for you here. Oh yeah, there's a new phishing scam. I got an email today that looked like it was from Coinbase, like enough for me to open it. And I mean, there was only one major typo in like the description or whatever. It like repeats the words "you are obligated to," and then it says again, "you are obligated to." I don't know, like at some point the scammers will be better at just typing, like they'll use ChatGPT and then it'll start to make sense. Like there's not going to be these red flags everywhere. But also like this is not the type of scam that's going to get somebody who is an expert in crypto. I cut off the name of the website where they were trying to send people to. You know, but the name wasn't that weird of a website. It wasn't like, you know, a scramble of letters on your keyboard dot scam. It was, you know, it was like a normal website name. And yeah, but here they're saying like, oh, this is from Coinbase, like you're obligated to like move all of your high value assets to this other wallet. And so I could really see somebody who's new or like medium in crypto to fall for this and then lose all their money on Coinbase. So, and they're claiming that it's due to recent SEC regulations. So I like I made a rage tweet against like the corrupt SEC because like, you know, I've reported before how they came after me and shut my bank down with your tax dollars. Like they Operation Choke Point 2.0'd me because I interviewed Richard Hart. Like that was my crime, was being a witness. And so, you know, there's new news out today about Senator Loomis like issuing a statement to tell the FDIC to stop destroying documents that a whistleblower pointed out. The FDIC, part of the banking cartel, was destroying documents related to Operation Choke Point 2.0, which is where they cut people out of the banking system who are innocent, who are just like using crypto or saying something politically unpopular or whatever. So I fall into that category. So thanks, Senator Loomis. And then Sami said something about this in his in one of his streams today. How his pet peeve is people believing that something is incompetence when it's really corruption. And I had the same thought earlier today when I tweeted this banger line that it's corruption feigning incompetence, which means like it's like, you know, it's a theater job. They're pretending to be incompetent when really they're corrupt. Somebody's corrupt. The way that these the government scammers, it's ironic that the fraudsters who work for the SEC are shutting down my bank account with your tax dollars because of an alleged crypto scam, while they could be focusing on real scammers and real fraudsters like themselves, or the people who sent this fake Coinbase SEC email. And you know, I chose to not show the website because I didn't want people going there and getting tricked, even if they knew. Like, even I've seen even experts, like, you know, interact with the scam website thinking that they weren't connected to their real wallet, and then they were, and they accidentally drained themselves. So like, can literally happen to anybody, unless you just don't share the information, right? Yeah. So, and then we saw like the SEC chair, like out of vengeance, he's like leaving office, but he tried to file another, you know, appeal against XRP today, claiming that they're a security or that they're doing something wrong. And that's not cool. That's like obviously, you know, just corrupt politics, basically interfering with like what the people have voted for. The people voted for the first crypto president to come into office. The people voted for Donald Trump, you know, because they know he's going to stop the corruption that's been happening. So that happened today. I also put myself as the face of Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day because the price of HEX has been going up for 3 days straight now. So I said it's like Groundhog's Day because I woke up today and we were up again. So that was funny, but nobody liked it. Oh well. Oh, this is cool. So 146,000 people listened to me on Mario Nawfal's podcast yesterday. And there's only 115,000 people who hold HEX shares. So I said, anyone who can't see what's going on here can buy higher. If you're new, welcome to HEX. We love you. Very bullish tweet, you know, for the price being up yesterday, 20%. Now on HEX Therapy Live, we tell you you're supposed to buy on red candles and you're supposed to practice selling on green candles. Because when the true euphoria hits, you'll be at risk of choosing wrong. So if you don't practice selling on a green day and buying on a red day, how are you ever going to master your fear and greed? Like, you know, you don't have to do it with your whole bag. For me, I did it. I worked on this last cycle and the cycle before, like, you know, mastering my own fear and greed so that I would do a better job of buying on red and selling on green. But of course in HEX, you know, many of us have the majority of our bags time locked into the future, but then there's going to be that part where, you know, we're here for price appreciation as well. We're here to, you know, like even if you're time locked, HEX has been out there for 5 years. So you're going to have to decide to sell at some point, or I don't know, or maybe you'll just hodl forever. Like that's an option too. So, but I told a good friend of mine in real life, you know, I said, And he's into XRP and XRP is winning. So it's like, oh, I told him, like, practice selling 1% on a green day because you're going to need that for the top of the bull market. So yeah, that was cool. 146,000 views, and that was only at 3 hours old. Epic exposure. Had my comments turned off, and then I turned them back on. Asked people what their bullish price targets are for HEX this cycle. Oh, Frank Calabro Jr. I've listened to him on YouTube. He's a great streamer. I didn't see his comment till just now. 13-cent HEX would be wonderful. Sandy Beach, 54 cents. Christina Hype, 369. Love it. Love it. I made a joke about the FDA banning red dye. Mostly fell flat. But the tweet about HEX being up 24% yesterday, that performed well. That got 250 likes. That's how you know people like something. Dig it. Are you ready to win so much you'll be tired of winning? That's a Donald Trump quote. 226 likes. It slaps. Day before that, HEX is up 7.5%, 232 likes. People dig it. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, so there's an article that explains how to run TimePaysMe without the front end, being true DeFi. That is a really important tweet for people who are in TimePaysMe. And I know there's hundreds of you that are, because I can see how many vaults you guys create. And you're holding your own vault. Like, you make a copy of the smart contract that you issued to yourself. So it's like true self-custody. It's pretty cool. But I also told you here in this article that you need to copy this article and download it for yourself, because it might not always be there, and it gives you the instructions that you need. If you don't have these instructions, it's going to be very hard to end your TimePaysMe time locks without the front end. We don't know that the front end is going away, but like, that doesn't mean that you don't need to rely on yourself. So, and I mean, like, the easiest thing you can do is copy the article, print it out, copy and paste it into your Word document or PDF or whatever you want to do. Technically, I think you could probably put this all together if you just like studied for like days or weeks or months. But it's gonna be way easier, because this would probably be the hardest part to find. Just, I don't know, maybe you could Google it and it would come right up. But this is the time capsule factory contract address, and you need that if you didn't write down your vault address. So I don't know how easy that would be to find, but if you did make note of your vault address, or you went to the front end and copied it now, then you can skip the whole part one, and then you can just go to part two, where you just run the code in your vault address to end the lock or whatever. So very, very cool. Good job, TimePaysMe. Good job, Maddie. Good job, DeFi. Somebody saying in the chat, heard good things about the Joe Rogan mic. Yes, the mic that Joe Rogan uses, many of the HEX YouTubers use. It's the Shure SM7B. That's what I use. Maddie token is in the top 10 coins on PLS by market cap. Good thing I've written so many essays about it, like the one last night, so people stopped calling it a rug. There it is. Gold key, puts Maddie token at number 7 in total market cap on Pulse Chain, a Maddie coin being 1 billion. Just higher than Wrapped Pulse. There you go. Yeah, so I don't know. With that being said, we've been going for 35 minutes. That sounds like a whole episode to me. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Hopefully now you know how to buy ETH so you can get into HEX if you so desire. Hopefully you know about muting words on Twitter so that your mental health can be better off, as mine has been because of that hack. And yeah, hopefully you have a little bit more disdain for the corrupt SEC. So with that being said, yeah, tune in every Tuesday and Thursday. On Tuesdays, we do Game Theory Gang, and Thursday night, Hex Therapy Live. And I noticed Hexologist is streaming every day now. So if you didn't check out that episode from earlier today, make sure to check it out. Your friend Sami, also great content these days. So yeah, there you go. With that being said, until next time, stake wisely, my friends, and peace out.
What's good, Maddie? At a stake in today. Think I'm gonna throw a party for the Hexicans. You know, it's gonna be live. I want you to come over, call everybody, call ATX and them. Tell them to stop through, man. It's gonna be live today. We're gonna turn up for you, Maddie.
And we're live. Hey, yo, Trace, you ready? And we're live.
We're live like Maddie Allen. We're live like Maddie Allen.
And we sticking to HEX, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie Allen. We're live like Maddie Allen.
And we ripping the HEX, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie Allen. We're live like Maddie Allen.
And we sticking to HEX, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie Allen. We're live like Maddie Allen.
And we ripping the HEX, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie Allen. Crypto Twitter been crazy.
All these weekends on my timeline, you should try TimePaysMe.
We're live like Maddie Allen.